A vulnerability in the popular messaging app WhatsApp has allowed hackers to remotely install spyware on dozens of phones. The surveillance software would allow the hackers to read messages on the target's phone. It was installed through the app's calling function, even if the user didn't answer their phone. The malware was reportedly developed by an Israeli company called NSO Group. WhatsApp, which is owned by Facebook, fixed the issue and is urging all of its 1.5 billion users to update the app as a precaution. With more on this, I'm joined by cybersecurity expert Claudiu Popa. Claudiu, good to see you. Good morning.
Hello, Marcia. Thanks for having me.
So, what do you make of this? Lots of people use WhatsApp thinking it's airtight. Does this just go to show that there is nothing that can't be hacked into?
Well, that's absolutely true. I mean, this is a global problem. We're seeing this rise of the popularity of instant messaging applications matched by the capabilities of organizations with unlimited funding is a bit of a concern, as our good friends at Citizen Lab have said in Toronto. So it's a game of percentages. It's a game of probabilities. And so what the NSO group and companies like that do is they focus their efforts on the most popular pieces of software and try to identify vulnerabilities that they can sell, that they can weaponize, that they can attract the highest bidder for. And that's what's happened here.
Had you heard of NSO? What can you tell us about this group?
Well, the NSO is one of a handful of global organizations that specialize in making software for surveillance purposes. What they say they do is they exclusively sell it to law enforcement bodies around the world. So they export this from Israel. This is an Israeli company.
Mm-hmm.
And they sell it to government agencies. And those government agencies pay a lot of money for this, possibly in the millions, possibly in the tens of millions. We don't really know exactly, but they work on what are called zero-day vulnerabilities, which means system vulnerabilities on smartphones or on computers that have no fix yet at the time of the sale. And that's why those users of those devices are sitting ducks, much like some of the users of WhatsApp have been up until it was updated this Monday.
Okay, so hang on. Are they good guys or bad guys?
Well, what they're saying is, look, we're just making software. How it's used is up to those law enforcement bodies, those governments, and whoever our confidential clients are. So what they're saying is they are not responsible for what's being done with their extremely powerful software, but a lot can be done with it. And as we've seen in the news in the past couple of days, there's been links to the Khashoggi murder. And of course, that was a tragic outcome that was facilitated by this type of software.
Okay, how do consumers know if their account has been affected, and what do you recommend?
Well, so the good news here is twofold. One, that Facebook, the owner of WhatsApp, responded very quickly and very appropriately by letting a number of human rights groups know about this, letting them know that they had patched the software and giving them additional information that they can propagate through their channels to let the public know about this clear and present danger, which had not been patched up to that point. The second thing is that this software is a point-to-point tool. So it has to be one individual calling another. So this is a very targeted use tool. They would have to identify a lawyer or a human rights activist or some kind of an individual target. In other words, the public at large does not need to fear this, but it certainly is a concern from an activism perspective. From journalists should be concerned about this. Generally speaking, you need to have very tight control of your phone, know exactly what software is installed on it, and make sure that your automatic updates are set to on, because as soon as patches become available, they need to be installed automatically.
Okay, great advice. Claudiu Popa, thank you so much.